A while back, Bungie dropped a big vid doc for Marathon that showed new gameplay, dev insights, major changes after the alpha, and finally a release window. And it definitely feels like Bungie is trying to reset the conversation because let's be real, Marathon's public rollout has not been smooth. Early alpha feedback was rough, and the ARC controversy definitely didn't help. And for a while, the game felt stuck in this awkward limbo, and that was all even before ARC Raiders released. This overall vid doc definitely raises two questions in my opinion. Did Bungie actually fix the right problems, and does Marathon even still have a chance? Marathon is set to launch on March 26, priced at $40 USD. It's not free to play, but Bungie says that the price includes full access plus free gameplay updates post-launch. Seasons will also add new maps, runner shells, and events, and most importantly, the rewards for these passes won't expire, meaning you can buy and complete older passes later. One of the biggest takeaways from this vid doc is that Bungie admits that the alpha didn't work. They said that the world didn't feel dangerous enough, it didn't feel hostile, and for an extraction shooter that definitely kills tension. Tau Ceti is supposed to be a dead colony, a place that doesn't want you there. Bungie's new mantra is basically, even when it's colorful, something is wrong. And I'm glad they're leaning into this because the earlier builds felt almost Mirror's Edge adjacent. That clean utopian color palette works when the city is definitely alive, but this world that Bungie is creating, it definitely isn't. Story-wise, Bungie clarified something very important, something that they've definitely been hammering into the marketing, that you're not a hero and that you're not special, and you will die. You're a runner, a mercenary who transfers consciousness into disposable shell to scavenge what's left of the Marathon colony ship. And they specified that the shell isn't exactly your character, it's a tool that you'll use. Even though it seems like Bungie is trying to push away from the hero shooter talking point, when you have a character that turns invisible within a game where if you're killed you lose everything, I definitely don't know how that will, I guess it really remains to be seen. Because some of these abilities that the characters have are okay, like the guy with the shield, I think that's perfectly fine. And the other girl, who I believe her ability is to be able to run faster, that's fine as well. But the characters where he can turn invisible, and then there's another character where they can basically peek through walls, I don't know if those abilities necessarily need to be in this extraction shooter. It's really going to come down to just how annoying they are to deal with in the full game. When I played the beta, it was okay. I don't remember it being too much of an issue, but I'm certain people will have an issue with it. The massive changes since the alpha, in my opinion, was that solo queue is confirmed, proximity chat is confirmed, and they now have a free loadout that you can use. Solo play definitely raises the stakes because you have no backup and you are unsure who to trust. Proximity chat also adds tension because while you're talking to someone who might help you, they may or may not shoot you mid-sentence. I've seen plenty of times with clips on ARC Raiders. Now I do have to give Bungie credit here. They did add a decaying system for dead runners to where their bodies stay on the map and decay over time. If you come across a fresh body, that means someone's nearby. But if you find a shell that's been completely decayed, that most likely means you're safe and that person is no longer in the area. It's definitely a small system, but it adds paranoia and immersion. If Bungie pushes this further, showing shells breaking down piece by piece, it could be one of Marathon's signature features that help it stand out in a crowded extraction genre. At launch, Marathon will have 4 zones: Perimeter, Dire Marsh, Outpost, and Cryo Archive, which is basically the end game. They want these maps to feel distinct from one another, with Perimeter being an open, beginner-friendly map, Dire Marsh overlapping encounters and a lot of anomalies as described in the vid doc, and Outpost being a vertical, loud, high-value loot area with a bunch of robots going around. I definitely like what I saw with the Cryo Archive in-game content. It seemed like most of the enemies are higher tier. You also have to deal with environmental threats, and there's 7 vaults, each more dangerous than the last, in the ship. And Bungie is going big on the loot. They confirmed that there's over 400 weapon mods, implants, cores, many of which fundamentally change how guns behave. Gold mods are basically pseudo-exotics, turning normal weapons into something unique. The concern, like with any extraction game, is the RNG aspect. How rare are these to get, and how are they balanced with one another? Marathon is clearly facing an upward hill battle, especially now that ARC Raiders exists and was such a smash hit that it was. And on top of that, there's talks that Sony will close Bungie if Marathon turns out to be a failure, repeating the cycle of Concord.